I'm going to do this one as a quick one, mainly because it's getting pretty late and I'm tired, but I'm in the process of moving. The bin that you're looking at has all my Jakks figures in it, but I chose not to pull those out. But I did pull a lot of other things out, and since they're out, I figured I'd go through them. I got some of the Jakks thumb wrestlers, some of the regular thumb wrestlers, including the elusive Jake Roberts and King Kong Bundy that you can see there. All of the old school LJN Bendums are there. Hogan with blue knee pads, Hogan with red knee pads, the Macho Man, etc. And if you look up, all of the later JustToys Bendums, with the exception of a Series 15 Scotty 2 Hottie. So you can see, I'm not really gonna, I guess I could probably zoom in. Taz, Grandmaster Sexay, and Rikishi. Those are three hard to grab ones that I have there carded. I would trade those three for those three loose and a Scotty 2 Hottie loose. So if somebody was trying to collect them carded and, the planets aligned and for some reason you have, a Scotty 2 Hottie carded and a Scotty 2 Hottie loose, which is insane if you would, and you're really looking to get them all carded, those three can go. It's a matter of time before I let those breathe, so somebody should save them. Up above those, all of those retros are going to breathe sooner than later. You can see that I have some loose retros running down this line next to the ones that were carded up there. Still have a few left to get in this line. The later lines, once they announced that they were going to discontinue making them, going to hold out for those. The prices tend to go up to be pretty ridiculous, and then pretty soon everybody's liquidating and they're cheap. So I'm not going to try to jump the gun on those. Looking through here, we're getting into official San Francisco toy maker territory. These two Jimmy Harts, I am looking for, at a reasonable price, and it is hard to find, the variant where it says Hogan down his shirt in the yellow attire rather than it saying Hulk. And in that situation, there is also an error where his skin color matches the color of the boot. So I am looking for that figure. There are two currently posted to eBay at astronomical prices that I will never even come close to touching. But those are figures that I'd be interested in. I'd consider myself, since it is an air figure, having the full set, and I'll talk about that a little bit more as we walk along. AWA Remco figures, you can see the Midnight Rockers in there. You will see that the Sheik is in there. My Sheik figure has a custom belt and a custom black thing around his headgear. So I would look to replace those with originals. Finding those are going to be really, really difficult. I definitely felt like it was the right move to jump at what I had. To my understanding, the chain on Boris Zukov, the chain on Nor the Barbarian are completely original. So we are looking at a complete set. I got the Hogan Thunderlips figure in there too, because I just think it pairs well. I had a Mr. T, I sold that off. But AWA Remco is very underrated toy line. Expensive one to get into, no lie, but worthwhile. Hasbro's always popular. Got pretty much everything you can think of, with the exception of bagged mail-away Brett and a bagged mail-away Taker. Since the Brett figure is literally exactly the same as another release, I'm not sweating that one as much, but I would like that Undertaker. I have a graded Hacksaw Jim Duggan figure that you can see here. I am looking to replace that. I actually already made that purchase. I'll be selling that graded Duggan off, assuming that figure comes, but unfortunately I have not heard from the guy that I purchased it from, so hopefully that's just a miscommunication and that'll be resolved. The only carded Jakks figure I still have is, I do have one Austin, I also have him loose. I have this Flair, I also have him loose. Neither one of those is too near and dear to my heart unless I had the opportunity to get an autograph from one of those gentlemen. I don't think I would mess with that too much. Along the way here, you can see that I have UK and American Galoob figures. There's Dustin Rhodes, 2 variants of the Pillman in blue, depending on his knee pad. Big Josh with his true axe handle, Lex Luger with his true chain, UK Freebirds, both versions of Doom, Bald Arn Anderson and the UK Arn Anderson. I guess I should zoom back out if I can figure that out. Looking along the way here, you got San Francisco Toy Makers Galoob, getting into some LJN on the very bottom. I'm all over the place here. We got the Twistables, WCW, including the Argentina exclusive Elegante figure right there. That's the grail of that line. Up above them, mini Hasbros full set. Above them, the Series 1 cake toppers. There is a Series 2. I've never really looked that much into getting them. I had the Series 1 as a kid, so I wanted to get those. Maybe I'll get the Series 2 at some point. This Power and Beauty set. I have a few other of the Toy Biz figures. I have a Scott Hall, a Hulk Hogan, and an alternate Macho Man. This one my cousin got for me when we were little, because Macho Man is simply my favorite wrestler. Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth together, classic. So that was a great gift, and I've kept it packaged the whole time because I never really had anybody else for them to play with. As we go down here, there's your Hasbro Sergeant Slaughter that fits in with the LJN figures. We got a bearded Kirshner variant who is not sitting right because I think I kicked him a little bit earlier. Going down through Purple Skirt Elizabeth. Let's see what else we got. Bulldogs, Hogans, Duggan. 2 variants on the chain for JYD. Go back out here. Lots of different Harlem Heats. Yes, there was a blue version of Harlem Heat. That is legit. There is black, purple, red, and blue attire for them. So people sleep on the blue. They don't know that is out there. It is. I took those off card. They're minty fresh, but I let those breathe. Up at the top, the 16-inch Galoob figures. You got the Hogan and Rodman set that, most people aren't really that fond of, but I always thought it was pretty cool. The teal Ric Flair. He came in a lot of different colors for this. The teal being the hardest to find. If you look down here, there's purple. There's an alternate blue. There's red. There's green. But the teal is maybe the hardest thing to find in this whole line, if you don't count that Jimmy Hart Air figure. But I've seen more of the Jimmy Hart Air figure in the wild than I've seen this. So I got Sting in pink. I had him loose. I replaced him with a nicer figure. That'll probably be let to breathe eventually too, unless somebody wants to save him. I think that he's already cracked and coming off that card anyway, though. It's just, they're 20 years old. Same deal with this Ted DiBiase. I just wanted one that didn't, the way that they painted these, his whole body is the color of his suit. So it was my intention to get one that was very clean, so I bought a carded one. I can't bring myself to rip him off of it, but eventually that will happen if I don't find one to replace him with, a nice clean DiBiase. Same thing here with a white shirt Hogan. He gets a lot of scuffing and loses paint on his knee pads and boots and where it says Hulkamania on his shirt. That's a tough one, but man, I will rip that off of that card. I don't care. It's just I don't collect carded figures, but so that's the way it is. I got some bubble bath of Slaughter and Hogan. Let me zoom back out here so you can get the full scope. That's a complete LJN set. So I got the 16-inch over here. Hogan and Piper. Piper's in the box. I actually at one point had two. Traded one for that teal flare. I thought that was a good deal. Big Piper fan on the other side, and I think we both did well there. So talking large Hasbros of Hogan and Warrior. I think I already covered the Galoobs. But we're essentially looking at full LJN set, full official San Francisco Toy Makers WCW set, minus that Jimmy Hart Air figure, full WCW Twistables with the Elegante from Argentina, full mini Hasbros, full set, first set of cake toppers. Coming down here, full set of Galoobs with all original accessories. Coming over here, full set of Hasbros with the exception of the two bagged mail-aways. Full set of AWA Remcos with the exception of the Sheik's accessories, two of them being custom. Working on a full set of retros. Have that one Bendham left to find, man. The hardest figure for me to ever look for and find. That's a full set of the Jack's thumbs, a full set of the LJN thumbs, a full set of the LJN bendies. So yeah, I have a little bit of stuff. I have these Jack's figures over here. In the other room, I have some Mattel retros for sale. They are carded. I believe I have AJ Styles, Goldberg, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, The Undertaker, Kevin Owens, John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Ultimate Warrior, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. So I think that's all of Series 1, all of Series 3, and one guy from Series 2. I also have a second Berserker cloak from the Hasbro line that I would be willing to part with. I also have a full set, although not in the best shape, of 1990 WWF magazine that I'd be willing to part with. I bought all of the WWF magazines from 87 to 92 to replace. I used to have a subscription as a kid. I think it went from like December of 88 until, man, when did I quit getting them? It was probably around the time that Austin wins the belt, so like 90. I probably had like 88 to 97, but I'd cut them up and make signs and, you know, different things like that. So I wanted to have one, you know, good set. So but I bought one set of the 90 magazines that I would look to move, because I did replace them with a better quality one. I'd do a fair price on that. I didn't want to take the Jax out of the box. I don't think Jax really gets people too excited, and I didn't want to go through all the work. But I am getting ready to move, and I've been wanting to do an inventory of my full collection at some point. If you've seen my other video, I've had them split between... actually, I don't know if that was in that other video. I think in the other video it was just my LJNs in the case. I eventually moved to a model where all of these figures were in separate cases by rungs. If you go to my Instagram or my Twitter, you can see the pictures of those. At Twitter, it's at TimHaught, TimHaught. I have no idea what my Instagram is. But I had them separated by heels and faces. Couldn't have them all in the same place. But I'll tell you, man, if Toy Story is a thing, which I'm pretty sure it's not, but if you go to bed and these things come alive, it is going to be a ruckus living room on the overnight tonight, because all these guys are loose and ready to rumble right here at my house, and pretty soon they'll all be packed up with love and care and ready to make a move on to the next phase. So I'm sorry for taking this in portrait. I usually don't do that. I'm smarter than that, but like I said, it's late. I'm tired. It just seemed simpler to do it this way, so I'm sure this is going to kind of look like shit. Plus, all of the motion will probably make it hard to follow. But hey, I wanted to share it because I think there's some cool stuff in here. Definitely some gems, some grails, some items that you don't see every day. So I hope that despite the fact that I'm moving around and despite the fact that I'm in the wrong orientation, that you guys found this video to be enjoyable regardless. And I look forward to talking to everyone soon. The next steps will be unboxing this, where I turn up and creating new displays with this and my Motu collection. So have a good evening.